Start lying on your back in Supta Baddha Konasana, with the soles of your feet pressing in together and your knees falling wide to the edges of your mat. Place one hand on your heart and one on your belly, and start to notice your breath. Think about your inhales filling up your body, expanding your lungs, and then pressing your air out using your muscles out of your nose. Start to tune in and lengthen out your inhales and match your exhales, creating an Ujjayi breath. Get present. Feel your body pressing down into your mat, the blade edges of your feet, your bottom and your back. Feel where you're grounded, and then feel your air moving in your lungs and out of your lungs. Bring your knees together and hug your knees into your chest. Give yourself a squeeze. You can roll around on your low spine, massaging it on your mat. And then start to rock forwards and backwards, preparing to come into boat pose. Maybe take 3 or 4 rock backs and come forward. And then find your balance on your sit bones with your hands behind your knees. Flex your toes. Flex them as if your toes could reach your shins and tickle them. And then start to spiral your shins and your thighs in towards one another, coming into center. And reach your hands out. Breathe. Fill up your lungs and reach your fingertips out in front of you. Ground down into the mat to pull the pit of your belly in and up. And to also start to engage your pelvic floor, pulling your Mula Bandha in towards your body. Keep your breath. Intentional inhales and muscle action exhales. Starting to fire up your core. Rock backwards and forwards 3 times. Releasing your spine, stretching it out, and waking up your body. And then come back into Navasana, boat pose. You can keep your hands behind your knees or extend them out and then start to straighten your legs, keeping your toes flexed, hugging into center. Pulling your belly in and knitting your front ribs together to fire up your core. Try to stay high on your sit bones, lengthening out your spine and uncurling your sacrum. Keep your breath. Ujjayi inhales, Ujjayi exhales. And on your next exhale, rock back, hug your legs in. Take 3 rocks forward and backwards. And then come back into your boat pose. Your biggest version, hug everything and spiral your shins, your thighs, everything into center. Pull your belly in and up. And engage your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor. Start to hug it in like you're cutting off midstream or something. It's like really subtle. Extend everything up, come into a big boat pose. Inhale, fill up your lungs, and release. You can cross your feet over, come into downward facing dog. Send your hips up towards the ceiling, step your feet back towards the back of your mat, and then walk your dog out. Sending your chest down towards your thighs. Pull the pit of your belly in and up to give yourself space. And externally rotate your shoulders. Down dog should always feel like a deep shoulder opener. Pedal your feet forward, coming high on one toe and then the other. Then come forward to this high plank that Kino likes to teach, really protracting your shoulders, going high on your toes, and then as you exhale, melt your chest back towards your thighs, come into a deeper down dog. And breathe. Stay focused on your breath, matching each movement with an inhale or an exhale. Inhale, lift your right leg up to the ceiling, and then flex your toes, point them down towards your mat. Even though your legs are separated, you're still spiraling into center. Spiraling your shins and your thighs in together and keeping your hips square. And then bend your knee, open up your hip. Send your heel down towards your glute and your kneecap up towards the ceiling, and then pull the pit of your belly in and up. And press equally into both palms. Make sure you're twisting from your lower core. Good. Inhale, reach your leg back up and then pull it into your nose for cheetah. Send it back 3 points. And then hug in, exhale. Inhale, reach up 3 points. Do 3 more. Good. Send your leg up. Move with your breath. Knee comes into your nose. Hug in. Then send it back up 3 points. One more time. Inhale, hug in. Then place your right foot by your left foot. Downward facing dog. Come forward, high plank. Press the mat away. Protract your shoulders. And then start to melt your chest back towards your thighs. Down dog. Inhale, lift your left leg up to the ceiling and flex your toes, keeping your hips squared down towards your mat. Opening up your shoulders and pull the pit of your belly in and up. As you exhale, bend your knee, open up your hip. Send your kneecap up towards the ceiling and your heel down towards your glute and stay. Tuning into your breath. Each time you exhale, send your chest any amount further towards your thigh. And your kneecap up towards the ceiling. Good. On your next inhale, reach your leg back up 3 points, square your hips. And as you exhale, hug your knee into your nose, puff up your back for cheetah. Inhale, reach back up 3 points. Do this 5 times. Hug in as you exhale, and then expand and grow as you inhale. Good, keep going, protracting your shoulders, really firing up your shoulder rotation, waking them up, integrating. Inhale, bring your knee into your nose. Exhale, send your leg back up 3 points. And drop your foot down to your mat. Come forward, high plank. And settle into down dog. And step your feet forward. Come to the top of your mat. Reach for opposite elbows and wiggle walk your feet to the edges of your mat. A really wide stance, wider than your hips. Reach for opposite elbows and let your body hang heavy for ragdoll. Sway your body all the way to the right as much as you can, lengthening out your spine, and then switch sides. Go to the left. Do this once more. Work on coming into a twisted, flat, long spine. Good, and then go to the left. And then come back to center. Drop your hands down to the mat, halfway lift, fill up your lungs, and then exhale, fold deeper into your fold. Into your stretch, feeling your hamstrings waking up. Bend your knees so that you can get your elbows pressing on the insides of your shins. And then start to straighten your legs to tilt your tailbone up. Good. And then release the bind. Heel toe your feet together. Halfway lift as you inhale and plant your hands on your shins. Stay here for a few breaths. Pull the pit of your belly in and up and send your tail back to the back of your mat and reach the crown of your head forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up to Tadasana. Your head comes up last. Hands sweep up. Inhale, fill up your lungs. Then exhale, fold forward, empty out. Halfway lift, create a long spine and then plant your hands. Step back to high plank. Come forward high on your toes, and as you exhale, lower down low plank, hugging your elbows in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Come to the tops of your feet and press your hips down and towards the front of your mat. Take a few breaths here. Start to open up your chest, open up your heart. Pull your shoulder blades into your thoracic spine to open up across your collarbones, and then as you exhale, come to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, roll over. Take a few breaths. Inhale, fill up. Exhale, empty out. Step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, fill up your lungs. Exhale, fold. Rise up to Tadasana. Your inhale brings you up. Sip in new air. And as you exhale, bring your hands through heart center. Empty out, fold. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Plant your hands. Step back to high plank. And as you exhale, lower down low plank, hugging your elbows into your side bodies. You can come to your knees. Inhale, up dog, Urdhva Mukha Savasana. Exhale, down dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Inhale, come high on your toes, put your shoulders over your wrists, high plank. And as you empty your lungs, step to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, lengthen out your spine. Exhale, fold. Rise up to Tadasana. One inhale brings you up. And as you exhale, empty out, fold through center. Halfway lift, Chaturanga. High plank to low plank. Keeping all muscles active, your quads, everything hugging in. Upward facing dog, fill up. Downward facing dog, empty out, let it go. Take a few breaths here. Each time you exhale, send your chest further through your shoulders, reaching it towards your shins, towards your thighs. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen out your spine. Exhale, fold. Utkatasana. Spiral your thighs and your shins in towards one another and send your hips down towards your heels. Coming into a little pre-K sized chair. And right away, notice your pelvis. Uncurl your tailbone, create a long spine, and then fire up your muscles. Your legs are going to start talking to you right away, but also hug in your abdomen. Knit your front ribs together and expand through your mid-back. Cactus your arms to fire up your traps and the muscles surrounding your shoulder blades. Plug them in. One more inhale, reach up, lengthen out, and then exhale, fold through center, empty out. Halfway lift, lengthen, Chaturanga. High plank to low plank. Fully exhale as you lower, hugging in. Then come onto the tops of your feet. Upward facing dog, inhale. Downward facing dog, empty out. Let it go. Step your right foot into your nose and plant it down between your hands. And then drop your left knee down to your mat. Uncurl your toes so that you can stretch out your hip flexor. And keep your hips square to the front of your mat. And then breathe. Your inhale brings you up. And each exhale, settle in deeper, stretching open your hip flexor. Plant your left hand down on your mat on the inside of your foot, and then reach your right fingertips up towards the ceiling. Twist out. Stay for 2 breaths, and then tuck your toes. Come into a high crescent lunge with your twist. And then use your core. Pull your belly in to rise up. Stay in the twist. Waking up your spine. Good. Inhale, reach up, high crescent lunge. Then exhale, fold, Chaturanga. High plank to low plank. Fully exhale as you lower, and then inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a breath. Then bring your left knee into your nose. Plant it down between your hands. Drop your right knee down onto your mat. Come into a deep, low crescent lunge, stretching open your hip flexor, firing up your quads. Knit your front ribs together to turn on your upper abdomen. And check in with your Mula Bandha, your pelvic floor. Pull your pelvic muscles in, up into your body, and then plant your left hand or your right hand down on the inside of your foot. Extend the opposite hand up. Twist out. Pull your shoulder blades in towards one another to fire up your muscles. Then come high on your back toes for high crescent lunge. Stay in your twist, and then use your core to lift up. Stay twisted for 2 breaths. Breathe. Inhale, sweep both arms up, square your hips to the front of the room, and then exhale, Chaturanga. Hands to your mat. High plank to low plank as you exhale. Up dog, inhale. Down dog, empty out, let it go. Let's move through that Sun B, moving with your breath. As you exhale, come to the top of your mat. Halfway lift, fold. Utkatasana for 1 breath. Your inhale brings you up, sit low, and then exhale, empty out and fold forward. Halfway lift, lengthen out your spine, Chaturanga. High plank to low plank, fully exhale as you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog, Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Savasana. Step your right foot between your hands. Exhale to set up your low crescent lunge, and then inhale, reach up. Exhale, stay. Inhale, and then plant your hand on the inside of your foot, twist out. Stay for a breath, and then tuck your toes, come into high crescent lunge. Inhale, reach up, lift up. Sweep both hands up, high crescent lunge. And as you exhale, flow. High to low plank. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Left side. Left foot comes forward. Use your exhale to set up your foundation. Tuck your toes. Open up your hip. Inhale, lift up. And then plant your hand on the inside of your foot. Twist out. Stay for 2 breaths. Inhale, lengthen out. Exhale, twist deeper. Tuck your toes. Come into high crescent lunge in your legs. Stay twisted. And then use your core to lift up. Inhale. Exhale, stay. Inhale, sweep both hands up. Reach up, go back, and then flow. High to low plank. Up dog on your inhale. Down dog as you exhale. Empty out. Starting to get warmed up now. Connecting your body to your breath. Inhale, lift your right leg up. 3-legged dog, and then bend your knee. Open up your hip. Notice the space that you've already created in your practice. Good. Stretch, open your hip, and then bring your knee into your nose. Puff up your back for cheetah. Send it back 3 points. Do this 2 more times. Inhale, cheetah. Exhale, 3 points. Inhale, nose to knee. And then exhale, down dog. Lift your left leg up to the ceiling. 3-legged dog. And bend your knee. Open up your hip. Notice all the space you've created. The movement that you've allowed to happen in your body. Inhale, fill up your lungs, and then bring your knee into your nose, puff up your back. Inhale, reach it back up, 3 points. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, 3 points. Exhale, knee to nose. Downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward, high, high plank. Step forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Rise up to Tadasana, 1 breath. Your inhale brings you all the way up, and then exhale, empty out your air. Halfway lift, and then plant your hands on your mat and heel toe your feet to the outer edges of your mat with your toes facing out. Set up for Malasana, Yogi Squat. Get a strong foundation grounding down into your feet, and then send your tail down towards your mat. Use your elbows to press your knees open. Open up your hips. Focus on maintaining a long spine by uncurling your tailbone and reaching the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Engage your Mula Bandha. Exercising your pelvic floor, pulling it into your center line, and hug the pit of your belly in and up. And stay. Plant your hands on your mat, send your tail back up towards the ceiling, heel toe your feet together. Halfway lift, lengthen out your spine, fold. Rise all the way up to Tadasana, 1 breath, fill up, exhale, fold forward, empty out. Halfway lift, Chaturanga. Fully exhale as you lower down to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, empty out. Step your right foot between your hands and set up your warrior 1. Spiral your back foot so the blade edge is grounding down, and then rise up on your inhale. Open up to warrior 2 as you exhale. Adjust your foundation so that as much as you're firing up your right thigh, you're also stretching out your left hip, your left hamstring and glute, and your IT band. Fire up your breath. Flip your palm, reach back, peaceful warrior. Inhale. Exhale, warrior 2. Move with your breath. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior 2. Keep going with your breath, keeping a vinyasa, a fluid practice. Matching your movement to your breath. Inhale, exhale, warrior two. Good. Keep your legs in your deep warrior two, and then straighten your leg. Face all 10 toes towards the long edge of your mat. Inhale, lengthen out your spine, and then exhale, fold forward for a wide leg straddle. You can anchor yourself by reaching for your ankles or your shins and then using that self-assist to pull your chest through your legs. Focus on uncurling your tailbone, pulling your mula bandha up into your body, and letting your center line fall down towards the mat. You can plant your hands in front of your face like as if you were going to take tripod headstand, and use that to deepen your fold. Keep your breath. Inhale, halfway lift. Heel toe your feet a step in and then roll up to standing. Face all 10 toes towards the short edge of your mat with your right foot in front of you. Inhale, lengthen out your spine and reach for opposite elbows behind your back, and then lengthen out, come to a flat back. I like to place my hands on my hips to make sure that they stay square, and so that I can push my right hip back and stretch open my hamstring. So do that. And breathe. Come into stillness, letting your hamstring relax and open. And then fold forward, pull the pit of your belly in and up. Stretch out your hamstring further. You can plant your hands on a block or on your mat and tune into your breath. Inhale, lift up, step back to high plank, chaturanga. Fully exhale as you lower down, hug in, upward facing dog, inhale, downward facing dog, empty out. Left side. Your inhale brings you up to your warrior two, and then your exhale, open up to your warrior two. Warrior one and then warrior two as you exhale. Settle in. Fire up your breath and sit deeper into your left thigh. Really turn it on. Flip your front palm and reach back, peaceful warrior as you inhale, and then exhale, warrior two. Keep moving with your breath. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Use your core. Pull your belly in and up. And keep your legs in a strong warrior two foundation. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, peaceful warrior. Exhale, warrior two. Straighten both legs. Keep your toes facing out. And then set up for a deep squat. You can bring your hands to heart center. And then start to sit your tail down towards your mat. Pressing your knees back towards your pinky toes. Opening up your hips. Pull your mula bandha up into your body. Pull your butt up into your body. That's what it feels like. And pull the pit of your belly in and up. Fire up. And breathe. Inhale, lift up halfway, and then exhale, deepen your squat. Move with your breath. Inhale, lift up halfway. Exhale, sit deep. Good. Do a few more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit deeper. Use your mula bandha. Pull it into your body. Then sit deeper. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit deeper. Inhale, up. Exhale, down. Good. Tune into your breath. And then release. Stand all the way up. Walk your back foot a few inches in towards your front foot. Square your hips towards the short edge of your mat. Reach for opposite elbows. And then hinge forward, sending your nose out past your toes. Keep your hips squared down towards your mat. And stretch out your hamstring. If you don't feel enough of a stretch, then put more distance between your feet by widening your stance. Inhale, halfway lift, and then fold over your leg. Pulling your left hip back in line with the right hip. Halfway lift. Chaturanga. Step back to high plank. And then fully lower down. Low plank. Exhale. Upward facing dog. On your inhale, open up your collarbones, plug your shoulder blades in, and then exhale, downward facing dog, empty out. Inhale, lift your right leg up, three-legged dog, and then bring your right knee into your right wrist. Set it for half pigeon. Working your right shin towards parallel with the top of your mat, and then use your toes to wiggle your left leg long behind you. Square your hips down towards your mat and then untuck your left toes. Send your leg long. Inhale, lengthen out your spine, and as you exhale, fold forward. Come to a comfortable, surrendering posture. You can place a block underneath your right hip if it's popping up off your mat and preventing you from releasing into the stretch. And then stay for 10 breaths. Tune in to your Ujjayi breath. Every time you exhale, relax another muscle. Surrender your hips. Come back into downward facing dog and plant your right foot down onto your mat to release your hip. Hook your left toes around your right leg and sink your hip low. And then switch sides. Lift your left leg up 3 points. Hug your left knee into your wrist. Plant it down on your mat for half pigeon. Walk your right leg so it's long behind you. Lengthen out. And then fold forward. Find calm, steady breath to deepen your practice, to deepen your posture, to release the tension that's held in your hips. Just let it go here. Relax your glutes and your hamstring. Lengthen out your inhales, match your exhales, and stay. Stay present in your practice and breathe. Inhale, rise back up, take a slight back bend, and then come back to downward facing dog, planting your left foot down on your mat and hooking your right toes around the back of your ankle. Sink into your hip and release. Inhale, come forward, high plank. Build a strong foundation. Press down into your palms, come high on your toes, pull the pit of your belly in and up. Rock forward an inch and then lower down, low plank. Exhale and then drop down all the way onto your mat. Rest on your right cheek. Fully relax down onto your mat and then switch sides. Rest on your left cheek. And then start to come into a neutral place. Plant your chin down on your mat. Hug your legs in together. Spiral your legs into center. Pull the pit of your belly in and up, and then as you inhale, lift up locust. Exhale down to your mat. Move with your breath. Inhale, locust, come up. Exhale down onto your mat. Pull your shoulder blades in. Lift up locust. Exhale down to your mat. Keep going. A few more with your breath. Inhale, lift up, spiral in. Exhale, release. Pull your belly in. Plug your shoulder blades together. Lift up. Exhale, release. Good. Inhale, lift up, locust. Exhale, release. One more. Lift up. Take a few breaths here. Inhale. Fully exhale. Stay. Lift up higher. Inhale. Hug in. And then exhale. Release down onto your mat. You can wiggle out your bum. And then press back into a little cat stretch. Send your chest down towards your thighs. And then come forward to your hands and your knees. Set your knees directly underneath your hips. Take a few cat-cows. So inhale, arch your spine, reach up, open up your chest, and then exhale, pull your belly in, curve your back. Inhale, arch, cat. Exhale, cow. One more inhale, cat. And then press into child's pose. Good, release your work. Take one breath. And then come through your legs, just flip over, come onto your back, set up for bridge. Scoot your heels in towards your bum and reach your hands long by your side and then lift your hips up towards the ceiling. Hug your shoulders in towards one another. You can either keep your hands long down, reaching towards your ankles, or create a bind and clasp them. Then send your chest up and forward. And breathe. Set your drishti directly up onto the ceiling. And tune into your breath. Spiral your thighs in together. Plug in. Turn on your muscles. Inhale, fill up. Good, and then release down onto your mat. Roll your spine down. Take a restorative breath and then choose another bridge or start to build wheel. If you want to go for wheel, plant your hands by your shoulders and lift up to the crown of your head. Spiral your arms in towards one another to externally rotate and then press your chest up. Start to lengthen out your legs. Fire up your belly, pull it in and up and knit your front ribs together. Use your core to hold your back bend and breathe. Wherever you are, bridge or wheel, spiral your thighs in together. One more breath, fill up and then release down onto your mat. Hug your knees in, roll out your low spine and then reach for your ankles. Come into happy baby. Pull your knees down into your armpits towards your mat. And keep your sacrum uncurled, flat, long on your spine, on your mat. Lengthen out your spine. And breathe. Turn on your breath. Release. Hug your knees and give them a good squeeze. And then rock forwards and backwards. Come into another Navasana, another opportunity. Oh, just kidding. Roll all the way up to seated. Grab your blocks and extend both legs long out in front of you. Place your blocks right beside your hips where you can ground your palms firmly down into them. If you don't have blocks, then just use your mat. And then press down into the earth or your blocks and then lift your hips up. Breathe in, lift your ankles up. Everything come into an L-sit and then release. However long you can get up, that's fine. Lift your hips up and then inhale, lift your heels, pull your femurs into their hip sockets, use your core and release. Good, one more. Take a full inhale and then press up, lift your hips up, protract your shoulders, pull your thighs into your hips, lift up. Good. Release. Cross your ankles, hug your legs in, and then come into boat. One more opportunity for some core. Build a strong core and stability. You can keep your hands behind your knees or extend them out. Wherever you are, pull the pit of your belly in and up and pull your mula bandha, your pelvic floor, up into your body. And breathe. Cross your ankles, press down into the mat, protract your shoulders and lift up. Pull your mula bandha in. Then come back to boat for 5 breaths. Whatever version you want. You can start to straighten your legs, keeping your toes flexed. You can hold behind your knees, really hugging into center, and then plant your hands, cross your ankles, and lift up for 2 breaths. Use your core, use your belly, and then come back to boat. One more time, 5 breaths. Lengthen out your inhales, use your core, and expand across your chest. Pull your shoulder blades in together. Cross your ankles, lift up, 2 breaths. You can do it. You've got this. Good. As high as you can get. And then release. Press the soles of your feet in together and open up your toes like a book. So you're pressing the blade edges of your feet in together. Inhale, lengthen out your spine, and then exhale, fold forward. You can use your elbows or your arms as leverage to deepen your stretch, to open up your hips. Or you can start to reach your hands long on your mat. Use your breath to deepen your fold. Inhale, lengthen out your spine. Then exhale, fold deeper. Pull your belly in and up. Relax your hips. And release. Stretch your left leg long out in front of you and cross your right leg over. And then twist across, so hook your opposite arm behind your knee. And then reach out, twist out. Pull your shoulder blades in together. And each time you exhale, twist deeper. Breathe. Release this and plant your foot on the inside of your thigh. Reach your same arm forward towards your opposite foot. Hook it around your leg and then tuck it behind your back. Start to create a bind here. Now take your free hand and reach around. You can use a strap or a towel to get your hands closer if you're not there yet. Or clasp your fingertips. Start to reach for your wrist. And then twist open. Open up your chest. Sending your heart up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Good. Release. Switch sides. Cross your left leg over your right. And then use your opposite elbow to twist out. Hook it over your knee. And then reach your fingertips out behind you. And breathe. Use your exhale to deepen your twist. Inhale to lengthen out your spine. Stay grounded on both sits bones. And release. Plant your foot on the inside of your leg. Reach your same arm out in front of your leg on the inside of your knee, and then hook it around your leg towards your back. You can use a strap or a towel. And then start to create a bind. If you can reach your wrist, grab that, or your fingertips, wherever you are. Working towards a bind and spiraling your chest open. Use your breath. This is a great hip flexor strengthener as much as it is a chest opener. Breathe. And release. Send both legs long out in front of you. Pull the meat underneath your sit bones away. Come forward on your sit bones and then reach out. Inhale, lengthen out your spine. Exhale, fold. Keep that vinyasa. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold deeper. Inhale, lengthen out, and then exhale, fold all the way over. Release your neck. Collapse into this stretch. You can ground your hands beside your feet, beside your shins, or reach for your feet and stay. Keep your breath. Keep your Uddiyana Bandha. Roll up to seated. Plant your hands right behind your bum and then bend your knees, ground down into your mat, and then lift your hips up for reverse tabletop. Sending your hips up towards the ceiling and releasing across your collarbones. Open up your chest. Counter stretch to the forward fold. Good, and then roll all the way down onto your mat, one vertebrae at a time. Hug both knees in. Roll on your spine, release, and then send one leg long. Hug your left knee in, and then cross it over your chest. Supine twist. An opportunity to wring out, to close your eyes, to breathe. And then switch sides. Hug your right knee into your chest, send your left leg long. Tuck your hip underneath and twist. Keep your breath. Release. Hug both knees into your chest. Give it a good squeeze. Maybe do a few hip opening circles. And then set up for Shavasana. Let both feet fall long on your mat, falling open. Your palms facing up, just out by your side, wherever they land. Take up space. Pull your shoulders in together to lift up your chest. Release your breath. Release your bandhas. Close your eyes. And stay present. your practice settle in and integrate into your body. Shavasana. Start to bring an awareness back into your body, starting with your hands and your feet. Let it roll its way back into your core. Make your way onto your right side, waking up with your heart. And then stay here for a second. Acknowledge the work that you just did, the time that you allowed for yourself on your mat to connect to your body. And as you're ready, press up to seated. Bring your hands to heart center and acknowledge yourself for doing the work. Thank your body for doing the work. The light in me sees the light in you. Namaste.